Releasing stuff online means that other people will judge it. In this video, I want to talk about one-star reviews and what we can do about them. I know I titled this video one-star reviews, but I want to talk in more general terms. So one-star reviews, negative comments, emails that you get. We can talk about my approach and what can we do about it, why they happen. I'm fortunate enough to be part of and witness what happens when you grow from nothing to a wide audience. And because of that, I've developed a theory of what happens when we are talking about getting this negative feedback and negative comments. Step 1, the starting point. When you start, you don't have to worry about much. There's no comments, there's no likes. Let's take an example of this YouTube channel. So as I'm writing this video, I have 570 subs. I don't know when it will be released. Hopefully there'll be more by then, but there's 570 subscribers. Majority of my videos get like less than 100 views, some less than 50 views. That is cool because there is no pressure, barely any comments, barely any likes. It also means that when I'm talking to you, it feels like, I'm just speaking to a vacuum, empty space. By that extension, there's no pushback, there's no trolls, there's no negativity. I can experiment, I can do different videos, see what works for me. I can develop my style, I can work, on speaking to a camera, I can work on my scripts. Really, I'm not risking anything except, my time and a little bit of money on the gig and paying my brother to edit these videos for me. But it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling when you start and you wanna experiment a bit. Step 2, the underdog. Now, this is what we had with Casefile. You get that traction, you start growing, the numbers are rolling in. You get the listeners or you get the views. And now you get the early adopters. So you start getting people commenting on your videos, on your podcast, leaving good reviews, cheering you on. And the beauty of that is they know you've just started. They know you're learning, you're developing your style, you're still experimenting. So they're very forgiving. Also, these early adopters are people who are keen on your content. They love what you do. They want you to succeed. Yes, it's a small group of people. It's not a community yet. It's more like a club. A club of people who discovered something new, something that is undiscovered, unspoiled, and they're happy about it. They're excited about it. That gets you going. That gets you to be the best, to improve with your every video or every podcast. When you were talking about podcasts, it's a great feeling. It's a great phase because you're pumped up. It feels like you're doing something great. People are loving it, and there is not much money there yet, or there's possibly none. So you've got to sort of thrive on that motivation alone. Step 3, the mainstream. After being the underdog for a while, you made it. The blogs are writing about you. You got featured on some, lists there, podcast lists or whatever. You're on the charts. Numbers are climbing. Production is getting better. You got a little bit of money to buy new equipment. Maybe you've grown your team as well. Everything is going in the right direction. It's starting to sound and look professional. By that point, you also attract wider audience. So not just people who initially like what you do, but because you got some notoriety, other people are coming in. That means there's going to be people who try out, who listen to your content or view your content, and they don't like it. It's not for them, it's not their cup of tea. And that's fine, it's not a problem, everyone's got a different taste. But some of these people, they want to tell everyone about it. So they're gonna leave a one-star review, negative comment, or they're gonna send you an email. That's where things darken a little bit. You still get a ton of people that cheer you on and love you, but you do notice one-star reviews or negative comments, they're there between all the positivity, and your eyes are drawn to these negative comments because you're working as hard as ever. You've got that team, you spend all that money, you've improved the sound or the video, and you got criticized still. It's not a great feeling because it feels like, well, I'm trying as hard as I can, and still, if only I could speak to these people, if only I could change their mind and just talk to them. Well, that's not gonna happen on the internet, is it? Step 4, maturity. That's the last step that I think I know, or at least I developed in my theory. You had a long-lasting success. You've been doing this for years, you've grown your team, it's very professional, it's very organized, and it is a business at the moment. It's not a hobby anymore. Yeah, the numbers plateaued, but they're steady, it's going well. You're exploring different ideas, different projects at the same time. But the one-star reviews and the negative comments are there. They're as big as ever. And it's not just the people who don't like you and don't like what you do that give their opinions. The people who cheered you on early adopters, they may turn against you at that point. At least, some of them, not talking about everyone. And you may start getting comments or emails like, you've changed. The content's changed. The team has changed. It's not as good as it was. We don't like it. And it's piling on. And you look at the comments, you look at your reviews and stuff, and it seems like there is more than you can read. There's negativity and 1 stars. What's unfair is that you work so hard to get to that point, and you're still working really, really hard, but there is no way to counter that. There's no way to explain or have a discussion with anyone. You've just got to take it. And yeah, it can be kind of depressive reading these comments if you go into that rabbit hole, especially after years of doing so. Also, if you turn that hobby into a business, you've grown your team, you hired some people, it's like a well-oiled machine, well, this cannot run just on motivation alone. You've got to have some income. So you'll have to make some decisions. You've got to have advertisers, or maybe you'll offer some premium services, or some content will be behind the paywall. Just a normal kind of thing that you see online. Every decision like that will cause a little bit of an uproar. You get a lot of negative comments and emails at the same time. It's not a great feeling because you understand where's that coming from, but at the same time, now you've got to somehow sustain this whole venture. And like I said, you might have people you've got to pay and things like that. So it's always this push and pull that you're trying to manage. You cannot go over the line, but still, every time you take a step, you will get a lot of these negative reviews and comments and emails and so on. And the last but not least is that at the beginning, the comments and the reviews, your emails, were pretty much constructive criticism, saying, okay, you could improve on that, or maybe this bit of a technical side or content-wise on how you speak. By the time the business venture reached maturity, very little constructive criticism involved. Most of these comments and reviews are trolling, attack you personally, borderline bullying as well. But yeah, how did we get here exactly? We were supposed to talk about one-star reviews, how to deal with them. Well, all right, let's wind back a little bit. I think if you speak, or maybe you can read biographies or so, to a famous band or an actor, content creator, most may agree with my theory, because you do go through these stages. As you get popular, you gain a little bit of notoriety, especially online, when anyone can open an account, an anonymous account, and write to you, right? This theory of my simplifying, of course, take it with a pinch of salt, a little bit of humor in it, right? But I think that's how it works, at least that's how it was for us. One thing that I wanted to take you take away from this video is I'm not focusing on audience, right? So I'm not saying, oh, the audience is bad, they all criticize you. Everyone can have a bad day and everyone can make a mistake. I make mistakes all the time. Like, you make mistakes, everyone makes mistakes. And yeah, people have bad days and then they watch something or listen to something, they don't like it and they vent. It's fine, that's okay. My point is that you as a creator, if you want to continue down this route, you cannot focus on these negative comments or reviews, right? You've got to have a system that works for you. So you're not affected and your well-being is not affected. Everyone will be different and everyone will find a different way to deal with it. What's mine? Well, first, I understand that there are many reasons why someone can write a nasty email or leave that review or leave that comment. 2, I don't read them. Like, I don't read them anymore. Until, I think 2 years ago, I still went on social media and on Facebook and fan groups and Reddit, and I read the posts and tried to engage a little bit. Since then, I haven't. So I do read comments on Patreon because I think that's the least I can do, especially for people who directly support the content. And these are the core fans as well. And more than likely, they do offer a constructive criticism. So it's important to cultivate this relationship and thank these people. But the rest of it, social medias, the Reddits, Twitters, I don't read them. Like, I don't go on them. That's because it affects my work, like my daily work. It could be just an offhand comment. It could be some one-star review. I mean, once a week, I do read reviews because I pick really nice ones and then send them out to the team. I send an update email every week. So I do skim and I see negative ones as well. That's once a week. But other than that, I try to minimize that. Personally, just driving that point, I did notice the thought lingered, especially when the comment was something that affected me personally or my work personally. And I was just feeling down and it was affecting my work. So I decided to ignore it, step away from the social media completely. We're in very lucky situation that we do have people who take care of it, the moderators, the admins, the assistants. So I want to say is that it's a real thing. And even I've been doing this, it's the 7th year. We're doing podcasting. Now I'm doing this YouTube channel. And some people possibly, after all these years, are used to that or they grew thick skin. But not everyone's like that. And you've got to know yourself. If all of that is affecting you or you're thinking about it too much, rather than focus on the things that you love to do, you know, recording your shows, editing your shows, putting them out, and then interacting with the people who enjoy them and want to support you, want you to succeed, then do that. Like, there's no reason for you to go and interact with people who don't like what you do. I do apologize that I don't have some 3-step solution how to deal with negative reviews, but yeah, it's what it is. And first of all, I hope you to succeed as well, and then I hope you find your way of dealing with that, because it's important. It's important to keep well and stay well so we can do the best job that we can. Thanks for watching the video. I hope it was informative and interesting a little bit. But yeah, if you enjoyed it, hit that like button, check the rest of my channel, and I'll see you later.